Next, we discuss the API security scope. And what do I mean by API security scope? I mean the scope that a proper solution for API security should address. What are the different areas that it should address? There's four such areas that a complete API security solution should address. The first one is the discovery. Discovering the API is the very first thing we need to address. We need to establish. If we don't know what is there, then how would we know how to secure it, right? So, discovering the API and its related metadata. Let me add that too into the picture, right? So what are the related metadata? Well, the different data types, the different authentication mechanisms. What is the network look like with respect to the ecosystem that is executing the API, right? We need to be able to discover all that metadata, because only when you're able to discover that metadata you have a complete picture of what the API looks like, and you will be able to make better reach better conclusions, make better assumptions with respect to its use, with respect to its vulnerability, and so on. Okay, so that's the very first thing. Discover, identify what's already executing. And again, I talked earlier on in the previous section about inventories, right? If you build those manually, you do not have an automated solution, chances are they're going to get out of sync. So you need to have an automated solution. So you want to be able to automatically discover your assets and their metadata, right? Your APIs and their metadata. If you're able to do this discovery, then you're able to address their posture. What does that mean? What does posture mean? It means, is my ecosystems that the API are executing under healthy? Do I have any misconfigurations? Am I serving the APIs across the internet without being fronted by a WAF, by an API gateway? Those best practices that those well-established best practices that I talked about a few the previous section. I was about to say a few seconds ago, but hey, who knows when you're gonna start listening to this recording, right? So that's what posture management is all about. Is my ecosystem healthy, or do I have any misconfigurations? And you want to do these proactively. You want to do this frequently, because we all know that as soon as we perform an upgrade in one of our different servers, we may break something, right? So that's why you need a proactive, scheduled approach, periodic approach on scanning those ecosystems. Runtime protection. What is runtime protection? We would like to be able to detect active attackers. How are we able to detect active attackers? By capturing what constitutes normal API behavior. This is where behavioral analysis comes into the picture. This is where AI comes into the picture in a big way. What do I mean by that? If you would like to discover attacks, you need to be able to understand the API behavior. And in order to understand the API behavior, you need to be able to learn and capture what normal behavior looks like. Once you're able to understand what normal behavior looks like, now you're able to compare it and find out what abnormal behavior looks like. Anomaly, anomalous behavior, if I'm to use data science, machine learning nomenclature, right? That's the runtime protection. Last but not least, and I challenge you to ask any developer, what's the best time to identify a bug and fix that bug? In all honesty, guys, security vulnerabilities, especially API security vulnerabilities, are software bugs. That's what they are. software bugs, something we as developers did not do right. And it's not very rare we have bugs, right? So the best time to find the bug and fix the bug is during development. That's the best time. So the last pillar of API security, as the title of the slide says, is testing. Enable your development process, your development life cycle, so that security vulnerabilities are detected during development, not in production. Not in production. I wouldn't say that's too late. It's late enough, right? It's late enough. So that's where testing comes into the picture. Now, a word of warning. In this class, we're going to address discovery, posture management, and runtime protection. That's what we're going to address. Okay? That's the main purpose of the no-name platform, which is our purpose, which is what I'm going to be helping you understand today, right? In this course. Testing, it's a separate animal altogether. The primary users of testing of this pillar will be developers. It's during their development life cycle that you would like to discover the security vulnerabilities. And again, developers always wants to do the right thing, right? The thing is, we need to provide them with the right tools so they are able to do the right thing. Okay? There's a separate course that addresses this pillar. It's another 4 hours, and it's called NS401 Active Testing. Okay? Separate product altogether. So with this, we have concluded the what we mean or what is an appropriate API security scope so you can have a complete solution.